In the year 2000, representatives from the many different planets established a Congress named the Galactic Federation, and for a short while, an age of prosperity began. Space pirates appeared to attack the Federation trade ships. In response, the Federation Bureau created the Space Police, but the pirates proved that they were too powerful and that they were too hard to be tracked in the vastness of space. It is now the year 2015, and the space pirates have attacked the Federation research ship. The vessel was carrying a capsule containing an unknown life form that was discovered earlier on the planet SR-388. The Federation named these creatures Metroid. If the space pirates discovered a way to multiply the Metroid, all galactic civilization as they knew it would be no more. As a last resort, the Federation have decided to send a lone hunter to penetrate the center of Zebes and destroy Mother Brain. The space hunter chosen is Samus Aran, who is the greatest of all space hunters. He completed many missions that were deemed impossible. He is a cyborg. His body has been surgically enhanced with robotics, giving him superpowers. Even the space pirates feared his suit. Enter Samus. It is the late 1980s on an early Saturday morning. I was in my room playing with my Ultra Magnus Transformer. Suddenly my dad appears out of nowhere and he asks, "You want to play some Metroid?" I was like, sure, but with a name like Metroid I didn't know what to expect. I can remember during that time I had my fill of side scrollers. After a while those games, they just left me wanting more. I wanted to feel fully immersed. I wanted to be in a world where you had more options than just going from point A to point B. Kid Icarus was a very good step in the right direction. It was immersive. The atmosphere was like nothing I had played before at the time. It is also one of the first games that I can remember that made you go vertically. In a video game world full of side scrollers, this was refreshing. But Kid Icarus was still straightforward. I yearned for a game that would make me feel like I was an explorer. Metroid was definitely that game. My dad struck game and gold with this one. This game was so immersive that you felt like you were Samus. I started to have real fears, like being lost, or I was thinking that I was stuck. This game sort of drops you on this planet and tells you, here, figure this out on your own. Now that I think about it, there was no one around to sell you stuff like other games. No one to guide you on your quest. No one to validate if you were even going in the right direction. I think that's what terrified me as a child. The fact that you had no human contact. You're just alone on the planet. I can honestly say that this game probably scared me more than Castlevania did. The game had a gritty atmosphere and the music added to the dark tone of the game. As a matter of fact, when we first popped this game in, that's the first thing I remember was the music. The intro music blew me away. It definitely reminds me a little bit of Kid Icarus's intro. The overall tune is pretty much what's played throughout the entire game. Thank goodness that track is good. I can remember vividly when I stumbled upon Kraid's lair. The music hit me like a 2-ton boulder. I mean, it literally sent chills up my spine. Now I was really scared. When I first made it to Kraid, I was so underpowered. I guess you can say I wasn't used to power-ups hiding from me. So the Kraid battle was epic indeed. After many continues and passwords being entered, I finally beat Kraid. Trying to find Ridley was a long adventure in itself. Frosted mini wheats. I unintentionally found so many power-ups just by exploring Norfair. Oh, sour pouch candies. By the time I made it to Ridley, which is the second mini-boss in the game, I had enough power-ups to beat him or her on the first try. It's funny because I can recall my first playthrough. I made it to the end of the game with like 120 missiles out of 255. I believe I had like 4 energy tanks out of 6, and I didn't even have the Varia suit. I got my ass handed to me quick. Those damn Metroids ate me like a lemon now later. I remember when a Metroid first latched on to me, I turned the game off. The second time a Metroid latched onto me, I was getting drained to death because I didn't know you had to morph into a ball and keep using your bombs until they detach from you. I gave up on that playthrough. On my second playthrough, I was more of a detective, you can say. I searched every nook and cranny of the game. I think I found about 80% of the items. Most importantly, I found the Varia suit. This allowed me to make it to Mother Brain, and oh boy was she hard. Speaking of Mother Brain, I didn't like the way she was depicted in Captain N. I often pictured her as a terrifying beast, but in Captain N they made her like a comedic, I don't know, like an idiot.
She turned off your arm. Sentry's hot. The Triforce is as good as mine.
When you fought Mother Brain, if you didn't have any control over the little energy balls that were coming after you, then you were in a lot of trouble. And the lava on the bottom didn't make it any easier. It took me 4 tries to beat Mother Brain, and I had every item in the game. Mike and Ike's. This game makes me hungry. I finally beat the game, and to my surprise, I found out that Samus was a girl. I fell in love instantly. I can remember as the song was playing, the sense of satisfaction that I got from completing such a long and strenuous game. It was like nothing I had ever felt before. Metroid will always be dear to my heart. It sort of fulfilled a gaming need that I needed, if that makes sense. Alright guys, thank you for staying to the end of my video. I'm not going to go over the gameplay because unlike the other games I did already, this game is well known. So if you haven't played this game, you probably played at least one other game in the series because it's a huge franchise. Okay, so right into the trivia. I don't have much, but here we go. Samus was originally intended to be a male. I don't know if you noticed in the beginning of the video, I was actually summarizing the story that came straight from the Nintendo booklet of Metroid. So yeah, Samus was supposed to be a male, but partway through the development, the team decided to make Samus a woman. And I also displayed that earlier in the video as well. You can see a suitless Samus if you beat the game fast enough. You can also put a password in, Justin Bailey, and then underline it with the password on the password screen, I'm sorry. To be able to play as suitless Samus from the beginning. Sigourney Weaver's role in Alien may have played a huge influence on Samus being a female hero. Ridley, who is one of the main antagonists throughout the Metroid series, got his name from his or her, I'm not exactly sure, I think it's a her. She got her name from the Aliens director Ridley Scott, so there's definitely a connection there. Alright guys, thank you for stopping by again. That's all I have for you this time. Thank you guys. I can't thank you enough for stopping by. And until next time, peace.
I